Greetings, Lucky Legends. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host of this video, and it is time for our Week 3 PMC Team Builder against Verd and the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Now, I actually built two different teams to try and take on Verd. I ended up picking this one because I felt like it would work out a little bit better in our favor. Now, the team was built around burn spam. And by burn spam, I mean one Pokemon trying to burn stuff. That's not what the team was built around. The team was really built around Choice Scarf, Kyurem. Now, the reason I was building this team around Choice Scarf, Kyurem is because it hits really hard, and with the Choice Scarf, it hits really fast too. There's pretty much nothing on Verd's team that doesn't get either 1 or 2 hit KO'd by Choice Scarf Kyurem, and Kyurem has great natural bulk to it, so it would be very hard to one-shot back. I was running Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, and Psychic. Draco Meteor is to one-shot Starmie. It one-shots offensive Starmie. If Starmie is defensive, then it can't hurt us because it's not going to be running Flash Cannon, so there's not really much of anything that it can do to us. Psychic. I forgot what Verd's team was because I'm recording this like way after I actually built the team. But Psychic was for stuff like the Emboar, stuff like the Weezing. The Weezing was a big part of it. I wanted Psychic for Weezing and the Emboar. I originally had Earth Power on there, but he has a lot of potential Earth Power switch-ins, such as Gligar and, like I said, Weezing. As well as Mega Pinsir if, he had already Mega Evolved. Although it could probably switch in relatively easily even if it hadn't, seeing as how Bug does resist ground. But Psychic was a little bit better coverage. Flash Cannon was for the Grand Ball. That's why I had Flash Cannon on there. It hits the Grand Ball super duper hard, and I really needed that sort of like backup insurance to hit the Grand Ball. Now, that was really what the team was built off of, but I needed to make sure that I could burn and or kill the Starmie and the Kyurem. Verd has Kyurem Black, and he has Starmie. Those were probably the two biggest threats to my team. Mega Pinsir's not a huge threat to my team because I do have Mega Manectric. Between Intimidate and outspeeding it with Magnet Rise, Mega Pinsir can't do that much to us because we do resist flying. So we don't have to worry about those air late boosted attacks. But Fear with the Yachi Berry with 84 EVs in Spadef, we are guaranteed to live a Life Orb boosted Ice Beam from Starmie or Kyurem Black with the Yachi Berry, and then we can either burn the Kyurem Black, because once it's burned, I have a much, much, much easier time with it, or we can one-shot or come extremely close to one-shotting Starmie with Seed Bomb, and then, potentially finish it off with Shadow Sneak if it didn't get one-shotted by the Seed Bomb. Synthesis is there for recovery's sake. Get back as much health as possible. I wasn't expecting any sorts of weather from my opponent. He did have the potential to bring some sort of rain if he really wanted to. He did have Heliolisk, which does benefit from the rain, but that was about it. Starmie also would enjoy being in the rain, but, two Pokemon doesn't really make a rain team. So I wasn't super worried about that. So I was pretty confident that I would be able to get off Synthesis relatively safely. We are very slow, which was the only real issue with trying to get off those Synthesises. But, we did what we could. So, the other Pokemon that I had on this team, Talisman and Bloodwing came at the end. Dallas, I knew I wanted to bring it just like this. Volt Switch, Flamethrower, Hidden Power Ice, and Magnet Rise. Hidden Power Ice is to hit the Gligar. It's very important to hit Gligar with an Ice-type move because it'll live just about anything else because of that Eviolite and that natural bulk that it has. Magnet Rise is because if we do outspeed Mega Pinsir, and if we get off the Magnet Rise, then Mega Pinsir can't really touch us. Because if it's running Earthquake, it's probably not running Close Combat. Because, you would have a slot for Quick Attack. You would have a slot for probably Swords Dance, because Swords Dance Mega Pinsir is such a huge threat. You'd probably have a slot for Return, and then you'd have that slot for either Earthquake or Close Combat. There are obviously other things that you could run. You could run Bug-type Stab if you wanted to, because it does get Bug-type Stab. But I wasn't super duper worried about the Mega Pinsir because I knew that Dallas could pretty reliably switch into it, and since we outspeed it, Volt Switch does a huge amount. I don't think it's a guaranteed kill on offensive, but it definitely comes close. After Stealth Rock damage, it is a guaranteed kill, and I mean Stealth Rock 25% off of regular Pinsir. If Pinsir's at 50%, it's more than enough to kill it. But I brought Elegance. The reason I brought Elegance is because a Pixelate boosted Choice Specs Modest Hyper Voice tears shit up. It does so much damage. It is insane. I brought this as a way to not sweep, but to just straight up kill things. Because basically, between Hyper Voice, Psyshock, and Shadow Ball, we hit just about everything on his team super effectively, or with that Hyper Voice, which basically becomes super effective with the Pixelate boost. The only thing we didn't really hit was the Ferrothorn. That's why we have Hidden Power Fire on here. But Pixelate boosted Modest Choice Specs Hyper Voice, it kills Mega Pinsir, I think, at full. It just destroys everything. It does so much damage. The Psyshock was for Weezing. Weezing has really good physical defense, which is why I wish Elegance had Psychic. But it does not learn Psychic. So there's not really anything I can do about it. I kind of had this weird feeling that he was going to bring Spidef Granbull and Spidef Weezing, and then like a Fizdef Ferrothorn, or like a mixed defensive Ferrothorn. Because nothing on my team breaks, I think, other than Mega Manectric, I don't think anything on my team breaks even like 135, I think, is the highest offensive. No, I have Darmanitan. I do have Darmanitan. I figured he was going to bring a physically defensive Granbull to deal with Darmanitan, because between the Intimidate and Darmanitan... Granbull's natural physical bulk, it could take on Darmanitan relatively well. However, if I brought a Choice Banded Darmanitan with Flare Blitz, it would kind of just fuck everything up. Which obviously I did not. Now, Bloodwing. Bloodwing here is important. Brave Bird, U-Turn, Roost, and Taunt. Taunt was something that I knew I needed on this team because my opponent has a lot of Pokemon that could potentially set up and sweep if I was not careful. The biggest one being the Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is a huge threat. Tyrantrum at +1 outspeeds most of my roster. However, it does not outspeed Mega Manectric, and it does not outspeed Crobat. Even at +1 Jolly, it does not outspeed Jolly, Crobat, or Timid Mega Manectric. Which is why I have Taunt on there. If I can get it, if I can stop it from setting up, then I'll be in pretty good shape. and then I can hit it with, Brave Bird or U-Turn, neither of which will do any damage, but it's just the damage that I need to get on there so that I can one-shot it with something else. For example, I can deal that damage to it, and then if I go out into Grayscale, I can one-shot it with Ice Beam or Draco Meteor. Either one. I'd probably go for Ice Beam because I don't want to have my stats dropped. But I definitely wanted Bloodwing. I also have the Infiltrator on there so that I can, get behind subs when I'm, going for attacks. Because a potential sub Kyurem Black was, definitely something that I could have seen him going for. Nothing else on his team really seems like a substitute Mon, but Kyurem Black definitely seemed like a good option. Now, the last piece to the puzzle of this team was Jirachi. Our Shuckaberry Jirachi. Why Shuckaberry? Well, with Shuckaberry, we live in Earth Power from Kyurem. We live in Earthquake from Mega Pinsir. And we live in Earthquake from Tyrantrum. And then we can either one-shot or just deal a huge amount of damage to them with Ancient Power, that's for the Mega Pinsir, or Flash Cannon for the 2 Dragon types, which are Rock and Ice type, which are weak to Steel. That wasn't my game plan, but that would enable us to just deal a huge amount of damage and sort of catch my opponent off guard. Hidden Power Fire, again, is for Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn can wall teams for days if you do not prep for it. It's only weak to fire and fighting. It has ridiculous natural bulk. It can Leech Seed, protect, stall you out of a lot of HP. It's just bad news if you don't prep for it, so I have the Hidden Power Fire on there. Originally, I was hoping to get off the Ancient Power boost and then just sweep through my opponent's team because I had +1 all around. Nothing one-shots us, and we one-shot pretty much everything. So I was kind of hoping to get that done. It didn't happen, but, yes, the battle has already happened, but I didn't expect that to happen, and it didn't, because it's still only a 20% chance. But that was the team that we brought. I'm probably going to be doing these after the battle. They'll be uploaded the day before the battle, but I'll probably be doing them or recording them after the battle, because typically when I record these, or when I finish building the team, I'm very close to having the actual battle. But that's going to be it for this one. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.